The call was for a million-person march, and many in Baghdad heeded the appeal from influential Shia Muslim cleric Muqtada al-Sadr. His message is simple: all Americans out. The march was also backed by other Shia groups, including Kataib Hezbollah, whose leader Abu Mahdi al-Mohandes was killed alongside Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in last month's US missile attack.
This gathering you see today are al-Mujahideen. They are the forces that will expel the occupiers. The resistance groups today are showing the American occupiers we are united as one body, and it is real, and despite some differences in point of views, we unite as one weapon.
The protest was joined by people from all over southern Iraq.
Our goal is to expel all the occupiers. We are standing for Iraq against any intervention. We want dignity and we want sovereignty.
The government's divided and in turmoil, but should find it difficult to ignore such a large protest. Anti-government protests since October have already forced Prime Minister Adil Abdul Mahdi to announce his resignation. He remains as caretaker pending a replacement leader and new elections. The Americans have said they're determined to stay in Iraq, and at the invitation of the Iraqi Prime Minister.
One of the more popular songs of this protest movement is this one. The chorus goes, "Shul Millionet, what's a million?" Now, regardless of whether a million people are here or not, Muqtada al-Sadr has managed to send his message that he wants the US troops out of Iraq, and he's got this kind of support behind him. Imran Khan, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.
Well, there was another big demonstration in the Iraqi capital, and our correspondent OSAMA bin JAVAID was at that one. It was held in TYRES Square, and that is the place, of course, which has been the centre of the anti-government protests. It's been being held for months. Despite a crackdown, people say they are not going away.
Amnesty International coming out a few hours ago saying that 600 protesters have been killed. That is something that activists have been telling us here as well in Tahrir Square, saying that the government numbers saying less than 500 people have been killed are very low. More people have been killed. 25,000 people have been wounded since October, and people have been coming here for months. With us are a mother and daughter who've been coming to the protest for the last few months, ZAINAB and Fatima. Thank you very much for joining us. And now tell us, what is the point in you coming here? You've seen a lot of death and destruction. Does that not scare you? And what is the point in your presence in Tahrir Square?
Honestly, I am scared when I come here. I come here thinking that maybe I won't return home. Maybe I'll return home without an eye, without a leg. No one knows. But when I come here, I help out with the pharmacist. Sometimes my mother helps cooking. But seeing everybody here, especially the young boys helping us and fighting and putting their life for death, all for us, for a better country, for a better world, honestly, that just gives me empathy. And I need my human rights. I need basic human rights. So I come here fighting for my human rights. I had enough, and it is enough, honestly. I'm putting my foot down to the government. It's enough that there isn't any clean water. There are bad hospitals, the doctors don't appreciate you. Yeah, there's just no basic human rights. We don't have electricity. I go home, I'm tired, I want heat. There's no heat. I go home, I'm freezing. I have to take a blanket and put myself around in 2-3 blankets because there's no electricity due to the government not thinking about us.